Hi everyone, Marine here for Sunny Studio. Thank you so much for joining me on this new video. Today we are going to make this cute gingerbread shaker card. It features one of the sentiments from holiday greetings, as well as both characters from Christmas cookies, and the holly leaves from Holiday Express, and the words sending you from Bear Hugs. I will create a frame using dies from the stitched oval die set here on the left, and from the scalloped oval mat 1 die set on the right. We also have the frilly frame eyelet die and 2 papers from the Joyful Holiday paper pack. So I started off by cutting a frilly frame out of craft cardstock, and I'm going to create like a giant gingerbread cookie using roasting hinge, vintage photo and ground espresso distressings. I'm using roasting hinge first. I'm applying it all over the panel with a light hand, and then I will add the darker inks on the edges, and finally rusty hinge all over the panel again. Now let's create cookie texture. I am mixing each distress ink with water to splatter droplets on the panel, and then I will do the same with white ink. And our giant gingerbread cookie is done. And now that it's dry, we're going to cut an oval shape right in the center, just like so. And next we're going to work on the shaker elements, starting with the window. I cut a heat-resistant acetate panel, slightly smaller than the cookie panel, and I'm going to heat emboss my greeting on that piece of plastic. I am first rubbing my powder bag all over it to make the whole piece anti-static. This way the embossing powder will stick to the ink only. Now I'm stamping my greeting using clear embossing ink. Next we can sprinkle white embossing powder on the acetate. And thanks to the powder we used before stamping, we get a nice and clean result. Finally, I'm using my heat tool to melt the powder. I am heating the back first, and then the front. I always get a better embossing when I do it this way. And here's the result, nice and clean. Off screen, I added double-sided tape at the back of the cookie panel, all along the oval opening. So now I can stick my acetate panel, making sure to center it properly in the middle of the opening. And the next step is to create room for our shaker accessories. I always like to use foam strips to do this part of the process. They're easy to use and they're bendable, so they can follow any kind of shape. So I'm adding those strips at the back of the cookie panel, all around the window and on the edges of the panel as well. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I like to use my powder tool to rub the foam strips edges to make them non-sticky. This step is quite important when you make a shaker card because thanks to the powder, the shaker accessories won't stick to the foam and the result will be even more beautiful. So now let's add some cute shaker accessories. I am adding candy cane slices made of polymer clay, as well as a few spoons of iridescent confetti. Next, the powder I applied before made the foam around the window less sticky, so I'm adding teeny tiny dots of liquid glue on the foam. And next, I can attach a piece of pattern paper on the foam to totally close our shaker panel. Now let's see how it looks. Super cute. You can see that the panel is a little bit warped. It's okay, we're going to fix it in a minute. So next, I cut a 5.5 by 4.25 inches red panel, as well as a vellum panel, slightly smaller than the red one. I am going to stick the shaker panel on the vellum panel, and then to the red panel. The vellum panel brings softness and gives a nice transition between the cookie panel and the red panel. And remember that the panel was a little bit twisted, so once all the panels were finally attached, I placed my Misty tool on top and I let the glue dry overnight. And here we are the next day and see it's perfectly straight, no warping at all. And now before moving on to the coloring, I still want to add this oval frame around the window. I cut it out of some white glittery adhesive cardstock. It will frame our greeting very nicely and remind us of icing on the cookie. So our panel is all done. Now we can color two cute gingerbread characters using browns, reds and pinks. Now let's finish our card. I colored 2 additional holly leaves, and I white heat embossed my sentiment on a red banner, and I'm attaching those different pieces on the panel using foam squares. As always, I added highlights to the images using a white gel pen. And the last final details, I'm adding glossy accents on the holly berries. And that's it, this is the final result. I hope that you like this new Christmas shaker card. Thank you so much for stopping by and see you next time. Have a very nice day. Bye!